Prophet of the past. For thousands of generations, people lived and reproduced with no need to know how the machinery of the brain works, states Edward O. Wilson. Myth and self-deception, tribal identity and ritual, more than objective truth, gave them the adaptive edge. To explore the interface of mind with life as source for both personal and planetary transformation, one must be vigilant in bringing the highest standards of empirical inquiry to bear upon the process of perception. Nietzsche defined freedom as the will to be responsible to ourselves. This to me means the ability to respond to our instinct for freedom. Ability here means competence and skill. In other words, wise discernment and intellectual rigor play vital roles as we open to the contents of consciousness and examine the role of perception as the architecture of reality. Most people think that shadows follow, precede, or surround beings or objects, Elie Wiesel tells us. The truth is that they also surround words. They surround ideas, desires, deeds, impulses, and they surround memories. William Sumner, the American sociologist, in explaining the meaning and importance of critical thinking, states, "It is the examination and test of propositions of any kind which are offered for acceptance in order to find out whether they correspond to reality or not. The critical faculty is a product of education and training. It is a mental habit and power. It is a prime condition of human welfare that men and women should be trained in it." He concludes by saying, "It is our only guarantee against delusion, deception, superstition, and misapprehension of ourselves and our earthly circumstances." What is dogma? Dogma is the established belief or doctrine held by a religion, ideology, or any kind of organization. It is authoritative and not to be disputed, doubted, or diverged from. At the core of the dogma concept is absolutism, infallibility, irrefutability, unquestioned acceptance among adherents, and anti-skepticism. George Steiner, philosopher and prolific author on the impact of the Holocaust, made the observation, "We know now that a man can read Goethe or Rilke in the evening, that he can play Bach and Schubert and go to his day job and work in Auschwitz in the morning." How is such a corruption of conscience possible? Ernest Becker, in his book, The Denial of Death, offers his idea of why, stating, "If we had to offer the briefest explanation of all the evil men have wreaked upon themselves and upon the world since the beginning of time, it would simply be in the toll that his pretense to sanity takes as he tries to deny his true condition. May his words serve as an eternal reminder of the mind's maddening capacity for self-deception and the urgent need for developing our faculty for critical discernment." Kierkegaard stated, "The act of looking backward is, just like that of looking into the future, an act of divination. And if the prophet is well called an historian of the future, the historian is just as well called, or even better so, a prophet of the past, of the historical." Eleanor Roosevelt reminds us of our work. We have to face the fact that either all of us are going to die together, or we are going to learn to live together. And to do that, we have to learn how to talk with each other. David Bohm asks, suppose we were able to share meanings freely without a compulsive urge to impose our view or conform to those others, and without distortion and self-deception. Would this not constitute a real revolution in society? May we all practice the fine art of deep listening. May we all practice the fine art of loving speech.